What's up, good people? Bernard Riley back up in here with some more of this Black Media Mayhem. We're going to be talking today about DJ Akademiks, who's recently coming under fire over some audio that resurfaced of him talking about getting with underage girls. So we're going to be getting into that. But DJ Akademiks, I know more about him from his collaborations with Fresh and Fit. I knew who he was before that, but I think everybody kind of got to know him a little more from his everything he had going on with Fresh and Fit, who's no strangers to controversy themselves. But now DJ Akademiks is in some controversy that has nothing to do with them. Nothing to do with them. I know they glad their name is out of it. I know they glad about that. But either way it go, we're going to roll the not so beautiful bean footage and see exactly what he said about this issue that triggers a lot of people. It triggers a lot of people because no matter how you slice it, the legal age of consent is arbitrary. It's arbitrary. I did a stream on that little while back called "What Should the Legal Age of Consent Be?" And when you really try to break it down and think about it, you find out that it's arbitrary. So, but that doesn't mean that DJ Akademiks didn't say problematic things. And we will break it all down after we roll the not so beautiful bean footage. So let's go.
And to keep it real, if you think about it in the bigger scheme of things, there's not much difference between a 20 or a 17 or a 21 and a 17. Just kind of mean one's a minor and one's not a minor. But I will say, listen, I adopted this rule, which I think it was fine. I said, listen, man, as long as the chick got a college ID, she's getting f***ed. I don't care if she's 17. I don't care if she's 17 and a half. I don't care if she just turned 17. She's going to get this dick.
All right, there it is. He said what he said, and that's what he said. And the obvious problem with it is that depending on what state he's in, 17 is against the law. So he's passionately talking about breaking the law. And it's kind of weird when you say as long as she has a college ID. Well, if she can show you a college ID, she can show you an actual ID, and you can see how old she actually is. And you will know if you're actually breaking the law. And then you don't really got to even come up with these rules. So whenever somebody is talking about, well, I have this rule, I have that rule, you could just say, okay, what's the law? What's the law in the state that I live in? Like, you could literally just do that. The state of Michigan, the law is 16. I live in the state of Michigan, and the law is 16 in the state of Michigan. In some places, it's 17. In some places, it's 18. So bare minimum, your rule should be the law. Like that's a real simple open shut case. So whenever somebody is talking in, about, and around that, it sort of sounds like they just want to purposefully, intentfully be right on the edge of where the law is. And my thing is, just don't even play that close to the edge. Don't even play that close to the edge. So that's one of the problematic things about whenever I hear guys talking about that. And I saw that on my show when I did the show, what should the legal age of consent be? I heard guys, talking about it in such a roundabout way, and I understand where they're coming from, because no matter how we slice it, no matter how we smack it up, flip it, or rub it down, the legal age of consent is arbitrary. That's the thing that DJ Akademiks is right about. There's nothing biologically different from somebody who's 17 years and 364 days versus somebody who's 18 years old. There's no biological difference there. And then we got to deal with the the uncomfortable fact that they have their first period and become egg producing members of society, or egg carrying members of society at 13. At 13, that's when biology says they're a woman, which is crazy because we live in an advanced society where we don't live in a natural world anymore. In a natural world, that makes sense. If we're living out in the wilderness, we're hunters and gatherers, and that sort of lines up with the biology, if you understand what I'm saying. But we live in a complex, intricate society, and it takes more for somebody to be an adult in this society. So we do have to bump that age up for the sake of society functioning. But some guys do talk about it from the perspective like they want to play right on that edge. And then what happens is the women, they get all out of control and crazy, and they want to break out the pitchforks and tiki torches and try to cancel somebody. But a lot of the times, those same exact women who will call him a word that starts with a P, because I don't even want to say it, because I don't even want to trigger the YouTube algorithm more than what I already have. But the women who will call him that, word that starts with a P, some of those same women are the ones who will get dressed up in naughty schoolgirl and cheerleader outfits on Halloween. It's wrong to be with a child, but you're going to go and present as one in a in a seductive kind of way. It's like that's a weird thing, and a lot of them are suspiciously silent on those stories. The story that I recently covered, of a middle school teacher doing something with the student, and we see a lot more of that going on, and a lot of the women are suspiciously silent on that. So I don't care about all their moral outrage and moral indignation that they have when it comes to these kind of issues. I really don't want to hear about that. I really like to just talk to the men, like, what's up, what's going on, why even play the game that close to the edge? That's where I'm at with it. Yes, I agree, the number is arbitrary. We came up with it. It takes you're about 17 or 18 when you graduate high school, and that's when you become adult and trying to function in society. And but to some people, they're not fully functioning in society until their early to mid 20s. But we're going to put that mark right at 18, so that's when you're legally an adult and can consent. I got no problem with that. But so I ask men, why even play that close to the edge? Why even say something like, well, long as she has a college ID, like what? Why not just, if you can ask for a college ID, you can ask for a regular ID? I don't understand that part of it. So that does reek of somebody who's, trying to play fast and loose with rules that are already kind of fast and loose anyway, because in some states, like I said, in Michigan, it's 16, in other states it's 17, in other states it's 18. So the rules are up and down, topsy-turvy anyway. So why even play around with it more than whatever the legal age of consent is in your state? Why even dance around it more than that? Just go with that. And even then, with it being 16 in Michigan, no. That's a no for me, dog. I'm not messing with that. That's my perspective. So I don't understand why guys try to set up separate rules and do all of this and do all of that and speak publicly about it. That's another weird thing. Just shut up. Just shut up and keep that to yourself. All right. You like college age girls. But he says something to sound like he's okay with slightly below college age girls. But dang. Just shut up. Just shut up and move to Michigan. Like, I don't even know what to do with that. You do sound guilty, but I ain't gonna let the women hop on them. I'm not gonna let the women beat them up, because they be on some bull too. But that's all I got on this one. Let me know what you think about DJ Akademiks. I played the clip. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Is he making sense when he's saying about there's no difference between 17 and 20 and all of that? And am I making sense when I say the age of consent that we come up with is arbitrary? And am I also making sense when I say, but why even play around with anything other than what the law clearly states in your state that you live in? Why even play around with anything beyond that? Let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that said, that's my take on this rendition of this Black Media Mayhem. And I'm out of here. Peace. We gone.